Hello everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can reflow your GPU. Now the GPU I'm going to be using in today's video is my Asus GTX 770. Now most graphics cards are similar as far as disassembly. So without further ado, let's begin. So my specific graphics card, I only had to undo like 4 screws. So if you have the Asus, what is this called? Hold on. If you have the Asus Direct CU graphics card lineup, you would only have to do undo 4 screws. But some graphics cards might have like 8 screws, 10 screws, and also if you unscrew like all the screws and it still doesn't come out like the actual heatsink, just don't worry. Just release just get a flathead and just stick it underneath between the actual heatsink and the card itself, because your graphics card might have thermal pads that just go on in these memory modules. So just keep that in mind. So what you're gonna need for this is a screwdriver, a can of air if it's dusty, a couple Q-tips to clean up the thermal paste. Or you can use a paper towel, doesn't matter. And you're obviously gonna need your thermal paste to reflow it. So obviously I've taken mine apart already. I already cleaned the thermal paste on the actual heatsink itself. You have to unplug the fan as well, so keep that in mind. But you can see here we have the main chip of the GTX 770. You can see. I still have to, I just, what you want to do with these chips is you want to get a paper towel and just like rub the chip, just get the thermal paste off. And then the rest you can just, the corners here, like the edges, you could just use with you can just use a Q-tip. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up and I'll come back. Okay, so that literally took like a minute. I got most of the thermal paste removed, the old thermal paste. You can see there's a bit over there, but it's not really a big deal if you have like little thermal paste you can't remove. It's no big deal there, but it's recommended that you remove like all the old thermal paste. So the graphics card doesn't overheat and all that, because over time you need to change your thermal paste on pretty much every computer part, because over time it dries up and it doesn't really do anything. It just sits there. So yeah. So you're gonna now next use your can of air. This may depend on what graphics card you have. If you have like a newer one, then it probably won't even have dust, depending on like where your PC is. But mine has a little bit of dust, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do that. Just literally, it's not like dust balls, but it's just a little dust. You can see. Yeah, just clean it like not thoroughly, but briefly. And also on the heatsink as well, actual heatsink itself. Yeah, see, there's not much dust really on this heatsink. You can disassemble on the Asus Direct CU cards. I'm pretty sure you can take out like the fans, like this piece right here is a black piece, and then you'll have just a heatsink. But I'm not gonna go for like fully in-depth cleaning because I kind of gotta be quick here. I have a limited amount of time. But you can see I already removed the thermal paste on the actual heatsink. So now, if you just use your can of air, you can put it away. And the final step, or one of the final steps of this process, is just apply the new thermal paste in order for the graphics card to reflow again. Because it's good to replace your thermal paste every once in a while, because as I said before, over time, as I said prior, over time the thermal paste sort of gets hard, and it won't really do its job. So it's just sitting there doing nothing, and the graphics card will overheat or whatever. This even applies for CPUs and stuff. So that's kind of like a fact. So we're gonna go ahead. As far as thermal paste goes, you can use any thermal paste. I have Arctic MX4. I use this in pretty much every computer I've worked on. I've used this for my $2,000 computer. I've used this for pretty much every computer I've worked on. You can see I love Arctic's thermal paste because it's solid. Okay, it's a very solid thermal paste. Like it's pretty good thermal paste. Okay, see what you want to do is you want to undo this like that, the cap. You'll put this there. Let me zoom in on this. So hopefully the camera angle is not upside down. I apologize because I'm recording on my phone because I sort of do, like, if I wanted to make, like, a quick video like this one, I'll just record on my phone. I won't do any editing or whatever. But besides the point, we're going to apply this thermal paste. So, just want to put, like, a dot. Like that. That's all you need for a graphics card. Or pretty much any chip in general on computers. You don't need to just dump the whole thing out, you know? Alright, so once you put the new thermal paste on your chip, you can see I just put like a little dot. You don't have to go like crazy. Now what you want to do next is you want to just place the graphics card heatsink just on the chip the way it was prior. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. And you want to plug in your fans, of course. Now this GPU isn't being used really that much. Like, it's not really being used at all, but I figured I'd reflow it just so you can work better, I guess. So you just want to put this heatsink back the way it was before you took it apart. So mine goes like, and also you want to line up the standoffs, the 4 standoffs here, depending on what graphics card you have. So just want to line it up with the actual holes on the actual, whoa. Yeah, don't do that. Just don't do that. Hopefully I didn't break anything there, but just want to line it up. It should just fall in, more or less. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't get slimy. I hope that's lined up. There. I'm gonna flip over the card. Hopefully, okay, this is a mess. Okay. Just give me a sec. Whoa, okay, this thing is heavy. You know what? I'll put it up like this. On like this. Okay, so next what you want to do, once you lined up the holes here, you kind of just want to just screw it back in the way it was before. Hope this graphics card still works. I'm going to test it out on my computer after. Make sure I did no damage. So you want to get your screws, the 4 screws or however amount of screws you have, and just screw them back on. Okay, let me screw these in real quick. I'll come back when I get all these screwed in. Okay, so once you screwed in all your screws, your GPU should be stable. Hopefully. Mine seems pretty stable, to say the least. But as you can see, this is the finished product. I gotta still hook up the fan, of course, the fan connector. Make sure you do that, of course. Just do this. Just plug it in. There we go. Okay, so now go ahead and test it in your computer, and it should work. But yeah, this is literally the only spare GPU I have on hand. I have a 1650 Super, but that's for like my main computer. This is my only physical GPU I have in hand. So that's pretty much gonna end off the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found this helpful. If you wanted to do this again, if you want to like do these computer like things, tutorials. If you want to follow them, do them at your own risk. Because if you're not a professional, like if you don't know what the hell you're doing, then you might break something. And then if you broke something while you're doing this, it's not my fault. It's kind of on you. But that's gonna end off today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it educational, I guess. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.